Hello, weirdo, world changer, the neurospices of the world. We're going to go for a walk today. I invite you to come for a walk the way that my grandfather would walk me through his garden. We're going to talk about something really important, the stories that you tell yourself. So you're going to hear about little Johnny who struck out and decided as a result that he's the best pitcher in the world. The other story is Nick. He told himself a story about a refrigerator car and froze to death. They're the same event. They're the opposite story, and they led to an opposite life. What story are you telling yourself? And there's so much power that's being overlooked right now if you're untrained in this. So the next 16 minutes, I'm going to hand you the exact 3-line script to rewrite your stories. Victim stories are boring, so how can you become a creator in your life? And there's no fluff. Just the seed of equal or greater success in every setback that Napoleon Hill talked about. You too get to harness this. Hit play, kick back, relax, and your dreams are waiting on the other side of repurposing your stories. Walk with me. Cheers.
Once there was a man who was convinced that he was going to die because he was locked in a refrigerator cart. His name was Nick, and the story that he told himself, if I'm locked in a refrigeration car, I'm going to die of exposure. So the first hour, he let his story get out of control. By the third hour, he was convinced he was going to die. By the fifth hour, he had written his letter to his family, how much he loved them and sorry that he was never going to see them ever again. And by the dawn, he perished. So the foreman of the train yard comes, looked at the refrigeration cars, and he finds this man dead inside of the refrigeration car, which is strange to him when he found the note. Well, that refrigeration car was in the yard because it was broken. The ambient temperature of 57 degrees, so 11 degrees below room temperature, was all the impetus that he needed to write a story that ended his life. So if stories are being used to keep us trapped, to steal our life and our gifts, keep us small, safe, and comfortable, is it possible that stories could liberate us? That's what we're going to talk today. When shift is hitting the fan, what is the stories that I have at the ready to make sure that I perform at my best when other people are counting me? And I believe also what I've experienced in my life as a special operations officer, salesman of the year, that there will be a handful of moments in my life will squeeze me. And those moments will either found me ready or wanting. The whole point of this channel is to cheat, is to use the tools from the special operations community, to use tools from the Olympics and mindset, but also to tap into the Jedi tools, tapping into quantum mechanics, also manifestation, in a way that combines both. By following these things, finding your own unique path, and as the application, your unique prescription for both the quantum and the standard tools of mindset and language, collapsing years into weeks, your way, in a way you want to do, not my way, but if we work together, how do you find a way that works where rapidly you already are what you desire in the village? Okay, story number 2. There's a 12-year-old boy and he's playing baseball with himself. He's tossing the ball up. Here's little Johnny. It's the bottom of the 9th. World Series Game 7. Count is 0-0. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And so he resets himself, gets ready for the second pitch, tosses the ball up to himself. Strike 2. And so little Johnny needs a little more pressure. So full count. 3-2. 2 outs. Bottom 9th. Here comes the pitch. Here comes little Johnny. Wind up. Strike 3. And little Johnny says, dang, I'm a better pitcher than I thought. It's the other part about stories. Nothing is inherently good nor bad, meaning until I assign it. And so what I love about little Johnny in the story is that we all can take a page out of little Johnny's book. That no matter what happens, no matter where I find myself in my life, this position is advantageous. And I heard Alex Hermosi the other day say this: if people don't need a reason to be in a foul mood, why would you need a reason to be in a good mood? And in the words of Nikola Tesla, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So it doesn't matter my morality. It doesn't matter how hard I've worked, how many sacrifices I've worked. The universe and its infinite intelligence, multidimensional, beyond third or fifth dimension, it can't respond in words. It doesn't know what sacrifice means. All it knows is that I feel frustrated, and it will give me more things to be frustrated about. You know how parents, they say, keep crying, I'll give you something to cry about? Something to that. I mean, as an adult, you know, if I continue to bring up the past, I bring the past into this present moment, I'm doomed to repeat the past. Nobody says this, and I hope that we start. Keep having gratitude. I'll give you something to have gratitude about. And I mean gratitude as a technology. If I'm grateful, it's chilly out, my hands are cold, and like the tightness. So, story number 3, when we come back. Okay, so we've got the story that killed the person. We've got the story where the kid realized he wasn't a good hitter, but he was a world-class pitcher. My question for you is, what story are you writing? Here's a hint. If you're locked in your victim story, victim stories are fucking boring. They are. Because if I choose my victim story, that means that I opt out of being a creator. So what if I could start rewriting the stories? Like, this thing happened to me. It happened to me. Okay, that's victim language, right? Well, Tony Robbins shared with us that it happened for me for my greatest good. So then in every trauma, there's a treasure. Napoleon Hill said, outwitting the devil and also think and grow rich. It's my job with every setback to find the seed of equal or greater success. It's my job. That's my treasure hunt, right? All right, so it happens to me. Happens for me. So the shaman world, it's happening through me. Creation is happening through me. So that's the whole point of this. Through my words, through my posture, through my frequency, I get to participate in creation through me. Lived that for a long time. The real magic is as me. There are 3 things common among the most sacred texts. The Arabic text, the Quran, and the Bible. The first of these is, let me like, with my words, I make real. That's the definition of abracadabra. So if I blaspheme, and I literally mean this, right? God creation, there's nothing in nature that's out of place. Nature doesn't make mistakes. That includes me too. Okay. So I was working with a guy last night. He lost $5 million, and he was saying I'm an effing loser. He's right. He's the guy in the train car. He was tricked. And there's a particular story that was blocked from him. He was swindled. No way to see this, by the way. And I reminded him, this is stuff that wisdom is made out of. There's no other way. What's wisdom? I tried a thing. It didn't go the way I thought. I didn't die. And so now I get to share that story with you. If it doesn't feel right in the gut, it isn't right. And his wife knew this and didn't listen. So that was the lesson. So now he gets to be the little Johnny. Now I'm a lie detector. So here's a wonderful opportunity to rewrite the story. So whatever I bind on earth, I bind in heaven. That's our language. I am prosperous. I am abundant. I am joyful. I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm alive in this 48-degree walk in a t-shirt. And right, so that's the first one. Second one, Be not afraid. I think the difference between fear and aliveness is just the story. I remember the pre-qualification jumps that I did for my skydiving. So I jumped into my book launch via parachute. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite stories in my life. And I remember I was a former Navy bomb technician. The guy I was jumping with was a SEAL, active duty SEAL. And I remember my orange Reebok CrossFit sneakers, toes over the edge, 2.5 miles up. And I was scared and I was ready. And I knew that this is the feeling I get before I do something awesome, right? So the butterflies, the fear denoting I'm alive. And then we leaped and we just had a blast. We had a blast. Exhilaration, cheating death, one skydive at a time. Be not afraid. It's an illusion. And the other part, we'll talk more about this. But if I listen to fear, fear is going to attack me where my ability is closest to the surface. For example, who am I to share the intersection of both fear and manifestation at the same time? Right? So I listen to that. I can trace back the reverse azimuth. I got to watch these videos. I get to remember how to make compelling videos to you via YouTube. It just feels aligned. It feels like that's what I need to be doing. And it feels expansive, connecting with you in this way. Now, when I do that, when I do the action that I'm most afraid of, I get a little larger. Right? So be not afraid. There's no room for doubt. The third thing that is synonymous with the sacred text is the law of one. So there's one consciousness fractalized into individual perceptions. E pluribus unum, from many one. We have that written on a dollar bill. And so maybe life is this glorious amnesia to remembering we're all one. All of us. All of us. In the words of Bruce Lee, there is no I, the royal we. And so if I remember that, the message that I earned, that I'm sharing with you through my special operations career, my divorce, it's an interesting road I found myself on. And sharing it with you is actually sharing it with myself. And I found with all the energetic tuning that I've done for my clients, there's always a part of myself that's healed at the end of that, that's restored, right? And I'll finish with this. A lot of the folks that I work with, probably you, what I want for others, I want for myself. Like there's some difference between giving and receiving. They need to be equal. And the other thing that's relevant in this, what most people I find do, I'm guilty of this as well. I would overestimate the outside challenge and I would underestimate myself. Isn't that fun? That's like saying, God, you're not small enough. Creator, you're not strong enough. You're not wise enough to solve this little tiny outside thing. It's ridiculous. So there it is. There's stories. There's why it matters. This is interesting to you. I have a whole course that I wrote on school, how to upgrade your language, how to go from victim, well, what's happened to me, to man, I have the life of my dreams. And when I start telling myself different stories, I hold myself differently. Life responds not to my words directly, but it's helpful. It responds directly to the frequency that I put out. Because the matrix, the universe, a multiverse, it doesn't speak English. It speaks frequency. So I can use my affirmations, my I am statements, and all of that is cool. But remember, the point of that is to change who I am. To remember, I am. I am successful. Beyond that, to already enjoy the life of my dreams now, because time is an illusion. And as time is an illusion, my 60-foot catamaran, I think $100,000 a month, that's already here. I have that. And so you'll be able to see it too once it manifests. But it's already manifested in this now moment. All I have to do is jump into that timeline and experience sailing, experience the retreats and the lives that we've changed on this particular boat, on this lifestyle now. There's no gap. So if I want something, I can't have it. I can have anything I want as long as I already have it. What I mean is what I already am. And so as I go into the mind's eye, the imagination, the closet, and I close my 5 senses and I experience that life, it's already mine. Just know that there's a delay. It's for your safety. I hate that expression. But it is. It's like, are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want this? Yep. So thank God there's a delay, because everything I worried about and I got, life would be pretty terrible. There's the Mark Twain. I'm an old man, and I've known a great number of tragedies, few of which have come true. So thank God there's a delay. And now, when the surprise stuff happens, a surprise bill, a relationship change, an oh shit hits the fan moment, you know what I mean? It's not good. It's not bad. It's whatever I make it. That's creating land. So my music's from the park today. Grateful to have gone for a walk with you. And like I said, if this is useful, we rep this every single morning. Come check out school. It's called Quantum Launch. It's the intersection of how do I apply quantum and manifestation. Collapse timelines, years and weeks through alignment. Time to turn off the grind. You've done that already. And how do we integrate all the stuff you've already done already? Just be it. All right, Brian Milka, Freedom Sherpa. Something else.